Recording. All right, it's September 11th. It's around 12:07. This is L. Jermaine Russell. I'm just kind of going over what happened today on the stock market with a couple of my trades. I'll start with ROKU first. ROKU is this is a morning jumper. Essentially, it kind of dipped actually. It dipped during the day. If we go to the minute chart, during the day in the early morning, it kind of took a nice dip down. It traded just a little bit below the support. I didn't think it was going to actually go down that low, but it traded near it. And then from there, it just kind of bounced and then started to drive its way up. And as you can tell, the 100-day moving average and the VWAP, they actually kind of merged. They came together. So now that since they came together, it gave it an opportunity where the 100-day moving average could cross over the VWAP and create this gap. So that was good to see. That was good to be able to see and see how a chart plays out technically, because when it's a technical chart, we're thinking that a stock can do whatever it wants to on any given time. But if you follow the technicals, if you just allow the chart to play out, you'll see that it will consistently do the same thing over and over and over again. You'll see that also with TOCA. TOCA started to do the same thing, where it did, the 100-day moving average did cross over the VWAP, but it did it over a longer period of time. It wasn't all consolidated like early in the morning like ROKU was. But even though this short amount of time, and we got to think of the float size too. The float size of ROKU is so much bigger than TOCA, which is more of a lower float, and that's one that I really want to see spike up another $5 a share. I think it has the potential to go up higher. I do think it can retest $18 eventually. Not tomorrow, but over a course of time, I can see it really shooting towards that $18 area. But that's not now. But most people were trying to figure out why the momentum of ROKU, and it already has positive sentiment. People were talking about it last week. People were saying how much that the bulls feel like ROKU has been undervalued, especially when it's in the space with Netflix. And if you look at the price of Netflix, which is pretty much decreased dramatically from where it was at $423. It was $423 back in July, June. So that's kind of crazy. And now it's actually finding some support here in the 350. So if the sentiment for Netflix continues to go in the positive direction, then Netflix might be another buy, and we can see it going into December or during the holiday season, that $423 will be retested again. So ROKU is actually doing pretty favorable in the position that it's in when you compare it to Netflix. So we're thinking that there might be a lot of upside since Netflix is so much higher. And if you look at Disney, which also has a streaming service, they're at $110 and they're looking to start going up. They're kind of going in a sell-off right now, but that's neither here nor there. I don't want to get all into the streaming services. I just want to say that ROKU is actually doing really well, and I want to stop out at $70. That's where I would take my profit before I see any type of pullback. But it might go up higher than that. I don't want to call anything over $70. I just want to take my chunk of the pie and get out and wait for the next best move. Like I showed you TOCA already. TOCA. Well, what happened to it?
Yeah, you blacked it out.
Did I? Oh, it's whatever. Here, you want the remote? Finish that. You know what you want to watch. So when it comes to TOCA, I really don't care of what its background story is. I'm more looking at the supply and demand of the chart. I'm looking at the economics of it. I'm seeing that it's now overbought. I was actually waiting for this move. I got in on this day with the hammerhead, and the hammerhead candlestick is probably one of my favorite candlesticks to look forward to, because I always believe that it's going to have a move like this. And I'm not saying that's 100% right, but I am saying that that is typically a move that I see kind of often. And then it's over the 100-day moving average on the year chart, so that gives it even more bullish sentiment. So I can see this going up to, like I said, $18 eventually, but I just want to take my profits around the $13 area. I've been in since $12. Well, not $12, $11.05, and it's $1.25 upside, so I like that. So if I can get one more dollar, I don't want to be too greedy. I just want to eat. So I'll just take an extra dollar per share and get out. And then I want to do one more CGC. CGC is a stock that has been is another stock that it's a weed stock. This weed stock has been doing tremendous efforts. Just this uptrend is just crazy. If you just look at it from the middle of August, just really a month ago, went from $24 to now $52. It actually hit up to 56 as a high. So, excuse me, I need water. I've been dry all day. It's wet outside. It's like, and I'm still dry. Man, my toes were all wet all day. Oh my God, it was horrible. But anyway, it doesn't matter. CGC, I do believe that it's going to start pulling back eventually. It looked like it's running out of steam if you look at the MACD, but at the same time, there's a lot of bullish sentiment around it. So I'm just watching it. I just want to see its activity. I actually want to see it do something like here, where it went from the $48. Well, it hit a top at 48 and then came back down like a good $8. So I'm seeing maybe it will probably do the same thing here. It topped out at 56 and it might come back down to 48. Who knows, But if it holds 48 pretty well, then that'll be another time to buy in, because now with Canada, legalizing everything in October, and there's been some new legislation that is allowing all states to really, well, not the states, but the federal government to really let loose on the restrictions on marijuana. That's actually on the floor to be voted on this week. It's going to be interesting to see what all stock prices in marijuana will do from now until October. And if we know, usually these weeks leading into October are historically bearish markets. This is when the market really pulls back. Last year, it was a little more delayed. It happened more in November, but but typically it happens in the late September, mid-October. That's when you start having pullback in the market. So I still kind of being careful when it comes to weed stocks and how the market will react. I just want to be cautious with that. And I know I've been chanting about WWE for a while, but I am starting to see it pull back just a little bit. It might trade sideways for a little while, for a couple of days. I could be wrong. It's near its all-time high. It's off the all-time high by $1.50. We'll see. It might go a little bit higher, might not, but I do see that it will start pulling back and holding the mid to low 80s just a little bit more. But we're heading into October, and like I said, I am very scared when I hear October. Well, I'm very scared of October and the stock market, so I just try to play it safe as much as possible. Tomorrow, I am looking at CORV. I am in this. I'm actually down. I'm in it from $5. I want to see it jump up. I'm starting to see some type of bullish movement, so we'll see. And then I am also in ISR. which is another one that I think that could eventually do something, but right now it's whatever. It's just doing what it does. So I'm down like $12, so we'll see. But until the next time, yo, trade smart, read, look over look over chart patterns, because that is what's really going to guide you through the market. That is probably the best thing that I've ever learned. Yes, learning the financials is important, but the activity of the market is what you should probably, kind of look at a little bit more. The Thinkorswim platform does this on demand, so you can kind of look at previous day tradings, so you can see how a stock was trading last year or 3 years ago by just selecting the date on this on demand tab. So you do what you do, but just trade smart. Until next time.